Here we go. Thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. Again, I did not take the time to invite some of you, so hopefully you'll get this information later because it's excellent, excellent information. We're going to be talking tonight about our sense of scent. And I think you all might think I'm a little bit crazy about this, but this is all research that has been done. So you might want to take some notes because it's some really deep things that we are going to be talking about tonight. So to start with, since we're so concerned, we want to talk and we want to explore our sense of scent, let's get our diffusers going. So you see my diffuser back here. What do? This is my favorite diffuser and it does all the rooms that we're normally in. So I just take a glass of water, put it in my diffuser. I usually have something a little bit left over in there. And then I grab an oil. Let's grab Immune Power. Should we do Immune Power, Raven's Air, or Cinnamon Bark? What do you guys think? Or a little of each?
Cinnamon bark.
Cinnamon bark. Okay. That smells excellent. All right. We see Claudia's doing hers there too. What do you put in yours, Claudia?
I put Season Essentials.
Very nice. Okay, so
I
here's
didn't hear her. What did she say? What? I didn't hear her.
I put Season Essentials because my respiratory system has been a hot disaster. So it's a blend of lemon, peppermint, lavender, and eucalyptus blue.
Never heard of it.
It's awesome.
It's a newer blend, but I'm just going to use my cinnamon bark. I'm going to put about 4 drops. And then I'm going to put some Ravensara in there. Let's put 2, 1, 2.
Are you going to do vanilla?
I don't have it here. I'm just going to do an Immune Power, just one of those. I usually put that on my body, but let's just get it in
Borrow
there.
mine if you want.
Huh?
Borrow my vanilla if you want.
Yes, and I have my vanilla too.
All right, just get it to me here. Okay, thank you. Let's put it in. All right, let's get the diffusers going. So do you all have your diffusers going or do we need to wait for you?
I've got vanilla, lemon, and peppermint.
And I have a diffuser in front of my face, but it's not visible in the camera. So you could see that one. And then you could see, I'll show you my other one. See the one far, far out there?
And what do you have in that one?
In this room, I kept it the same, Season Essentials.
Nice.
Because my nose and my sinuses in Florida at this time, it's brutal. So you know how Mary Lee talked about what everybody in her area is dealing with?
Yeah.
This is a huge help. That's how come Mary Lee is such a strong cookie too, because she uses it regularly.
Absolutely.
That's what I told them. I told one of the sisters that I love to be with her because she supports me. But you know, when it comes to oils, it's funny.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, sometimes when they really need it, it hits them. So just be patient.
Yeah.
Okay. Gay, you got your diffuser going?
I do.
What's in yours?
I have lemon, I have lavender, and I have peppermint.
Perfect. And that's very similar to Claudia's. She has a few more eucalyptus in hers. Heather?
Well, the eucalyptus blue has the eucalyptus.
Heather, do you have your diffuser going? You want to share that with us? I don't know if you can or not. She might be doing her clothes somewhere else. That's what was going on before.
I gotta lock my front door.
Okay.
All right, so let's get going. We are talking tonight about a very deep subject that I found absolutely amazing and new and a little out there. So, Heather says she can't unmute, but if you can, feel free to tell us
You can unmute her, Chris. You can unmute her.
I can try.
Yeah.
Oh, it just worked. I had to accept that the meeting was being recorded. I was like, it won't let me do it.
Oh, are you home? Do you have a diffuser going?
I am. My order was here, so I have the Red Cedar Bliss that I'm trying for the first time. It's really amazing.
I absolutely love that too. Okay. So we're going to be talking basically on a topic that Dr. Ali talked about at our convention. And also there's a podcast. If you want to listen to it for yourself, because it's a very unique talk and it's very deep. So you're not going to probably get all the information from me, but I'm just going to try to whet your appetite on essential oils and our sense of scent. So here we go. Did you guys know that every single organ in our bodies has receptors for scent? Every single organ in our body has receptors for scent. This is what studies have shown. So what does that mean? There's 400 to 800 olfactory receptors in our bodies. And what does that do? Well, when we smell something like right now, the cinnamon is hitting me that I just put in my diffuser back there. When we smell it in our noses, it goes into a chemical reaction and it goes in the body where it's needed. So this is what some of the research has shown, that our genetic pattern it's activated by our hereditary. So we can actually inherit sense of scent from our parents. So isn't that interesting that our bodies are so complicated and so unique? But what that means is people who cannot smell still benefit from essential oils. How can that be? Because it's the brain. When you smell it in your nose, that's the brain that communicates with the body. So this is what's been decided from the research that they found. That is one scent compound in the body. It's like a system of scent that the body has. But there is another one where all these organs, you don't even have to engage your brain, but your organs know what to do with different scents. So imagine that when we smell something, it's not just, oh, that's pleasant, or it doesn't just affect us in a certain way, but it's used by our organs. So that should make you think a little bit more about putting your diffusers on. Because what is happening in our body is so beyond us with these scents that the body is using them in ways we don't even comprehend in our brains. So I just wanted to share that with you, and some other things that I found interesting in the research that they've done with these 400 to 800 olfactory receptors in our body. Some of them are for a single scent, and some of them are for blends of scents that are all organic, that are all in nature, that are all what our bodies need. So this is just, to me, it was mind-blowing. And how your environment and your hereditary factors, that made sense to me, interpret sense, because some people are very relaxed when they smell lavender. Some people get excited when they smell lavender, and it has the totally opposite effect. So in a chemical compound in general, when like drugs, it does one thing, that's it. But now with nature, how we're wired with these organic scents is different. So that's how we are all affected differently with scents. I just thought that was absolutely amazing. Can you imagine that your liver can smell, your heart can smell, your brain can smell, and your blood vessels can smell? They've found olfactory receptors on all these organs for scent. Go ahead, Mary Lee, do you have a question?
It's so funny that you said that, because a few nights ago I had a dream about my dad, and he's been dead a long time, but I can actually smell my father. I always loved the way he smelled. He was a very hard worker, but when he come home, he'd always bathe. And my mother used to get so angry, he'd take the face cloth and he'd swing it to do his back, like, and it would be, but I can smell my father. Isn't that funny? It was like, and when my Uncle Wesley, when I went to visit him, that was I could smell my family. It's probably weird.
No,
No, I don't think so. I think that's real.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely real. So even later on in Dr. Ollie's talk, he was talking about our microbiome. That's us. And he said if all the bacteria died who was on us, a part of us, we would probably die, because a huge part of our bodies are bacteria. And because of that, we all have our different sense that our body knows that makes us up. And that those different bacteria actually put forth different scents at different times. So when our bodies are how different they are and they're changing all of the time, that shows how we perceive scent can be different for different people at different times. So for instance, when you are overcome with something and your nose is not just right, do things smell different to you? That's because your body, the bacteria balance in your body is different at that time. So it's absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to go a little bit into the brain because we want to have healthy brains, and our brains have an ability, with us knowing or without us knowing, of taking in this stimulation and using it in our system, the scent of scents. So what are some brain oils? If you want a healthy brain and you want to keep your brain as good as it can go, helichrysum is a huge brain oil, helichrysum. So when you're using brain oils, you might, excuse me, want to put them at the stem of your brain, the brain stem. Get them up there as close as possible. You can also, I mean, I have too much hair, but some people like to drop them on their scalp, especially if you don't have a lot of hair and it can penetrate. Helichrysum is a really beautiful brain oil. Frankincense is another beautiful brain oil. Sacred frankincense is just a step up. And then, of course, frankincense times 2, the deep spectra frankincense, which we do internally, is that much more of a brain oil because there's those extra compounds in there that these frankincense oils don't have. Sacred.
Rosemary. Rosemary.
Well, what I'm going to talk about, these deep ones, sacred sandalwood is a huge, huge oil for your brain. So sacred sandalwood is something that you want to think about to keep your brain as healthy as possible. So if you smell them or not, don't worry about it. These oils are working on your body. Your body knows what to do with them and they're helping your health. So that's what I wanted to share right now. Maybe, excuse me, Claudia has a little something more she wanted to share.
So it's not a coincidence that 2020, what people faced, many people lost their sense of smell. And people don't get stressed out about losing their sense of smell. But something Dr. Ali said is, if you can't smell, you will not have longevity. So
Wow.
sense of smell is connected to your lifespan. It's connected to brain mass. If you stop smelling, you lose brain mass. So we got a lot of people, and I don't know if Chris remembers that when they lost their sense of smell, they wanted to use certain oils to bring it back. And in fact, that's a powerful testimony that Chris can talk to you about, because she went through that on Saturday. But for Chris, it was resolved within a day because Chris uses the oils regularly. She inhales regularly. So sometimes, you know, when I first started with Young Living and they told me to use the diffuser, I personally thought it was a gimmick. I thought, well, that would make me use more of my oils and then I would have to buy more and it would turn into a vicious cycle. But as I progressed mentally and with experience, the smelling the oils for me, it's connected to my lungs. But you know how Mary Lee talked about she could smell her father?
Yeah.
That's memory connection. Memory connection. So sometimes you'll have a certain, like, let's say you take a walk in the woods or you take a walk on the beach or you smell a citrus oil. Maybe for you, it'll bring certain memories back of a season or a vacation or of time with family or something that your brain brings up that you didn't even know you had the capacity to retain. So if you lose your sense of smell, the way Chris did, there are certain protocols or certain oil things that if you keep diffusing, if you keep applying it, if you look at the diffusers that Young Living has that use no water, that are just atomizers, that only diffuse the oil, that is a powerful way to grab back what you've lost maybe because of 2020 or because of age. Because let me tell you something, Mary Lee, I knew you were a little firecracker before. but I didn't know you could smell your father this many years later. That says a lot about your brain capacity. That says a lot. That's a protection for the brain. So even taking time, deep breathe, like something like if you can't afford a sandalwood, and I just want to mention to everyone, if you're on loyalty orders, there's nothing off limits that you can use your points for. So like if you have 200 points, you can grab a Melissa. You can grab a rose oil. You can grab your sandalwood. You can grab your neroli. And so if you take time, put it under your nostrils, to put it on your sinus points, to take your 2 minutes or your 5 minutes, your time for you, even if it's in the bathtub, you know, doing your personal meditation, whatever, exercise, do your breathing. You're benefiting your brain, you're benefiting your immune system, and you're protecting yourself. You're protecting yourself from things that people are afraid to lose. You know, it used to be we were afraid to lose, I don't know, our well-being, our health, our ability to move. But now for people to lose a brain, it's happening. It's happening. And it's happening to people younger and younger and younger. And I affect my husband's memory when I apply the oils to his scalp. There's a huge difference. I wish I could do it before and after, but he's not open to that. But there's a lot of times he'll have brain fog. I can't. And then when I put the oil on his brain, like if he had to do a meeting and he had to call on people, what a difference in the click of the brain. And I always notice it because the wife is the first one. The wife is the first one to tell you, okay, I can't believe you have brain fog. And the person that you live with is the one that's going to say, hey, I know this is big for you. So, don't take it for granted. You don't have to do expensive stuff, but do smelling.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and tell you all my story. Peppermint, this is my favorite oil right here. So basil is actually an oil. If you cannot smell, basil is the oil you should go to. So what happened is I don't cook much and I was making grilled cheese for us to eat. So I'm cooking this grilled cheese and the bread was in the freezer. So I'm like, I just left it there. And I realized, hey, I can't smell anything. It just hit me like, wait, maybe an hour before that or something. And I grabbed my basil, and, I couldn't smell anything. I grabbed a few oils, grabbed my peppermint, nothing. And so I took my cinnamon and I actually I just put my cinnamon under my nose. And it was, of course you shouldn't do that. Put a little bit of oil. I grabbed some olive oil then and put it there, but I felt it. I could feel the burn from the cinnamon, but I couldn't smell it. So here I am, I'm cooking this grilled cheese. And all of a sudden I smell, this is like 2 hours after I realized I can't smell anything. I smell the grilled cheese burning. And that is how I cook. My body knows I cook by the sense of scent. Like when I'm baking something, I smell it, and that's how I know it's done. When I'm cooking something, I smell it, and then I know, oh, time to turn it around, stir it. I always cook by my sense of scent. So here I am, I smell the grilled cheese burning, and I run over and I flip it, and I'm like, oh, I can smell. So I grab my peppermint, it's there. It was back. Everything was back. So anyway, that was just my little story. I did lose my sense of scent for about 2 hours is what I figured out.
That's something, because I lost my sense of smell around 2021, but it was for a couple of weeks and I had panic because I remember my husband said, hey, do you smell smoke? And I just was like, please let me know because I can smell nothing. Don't leave me behind. I can't smell. And you feel limited. It's very limiting, not, it's something we take for granted.
Yeah, no, definitely. So this peppermint is also peppermint and lemon are some cheaper oils for the brain. Go ahead, Mary Lee.
Talking about things burning, and I talked to you about that, Chris. In my microwave, I had burned the other day one of my muffins, and it smelled so horrible in that corner where my microwave was. So I washed it out first with lemon. With vinegar, white vinegar, cleaned it all out good because it was a mess. But then I put, and it still smelled. And as soon as I put the lemon in there, especially where you microwave, where the smell, where the heat comes out and things like that. It took that smell right away in your microwave.
Good.
Beautiful. So lemon oil, go ahead, Gay.
Okay, I have something weird that happens to me. And I've always asked everybody around me, do you smell that? I smell cigarette smoke. And
Did you used to be a smoker?
back in the 70s, when I was out of the truth, I took up the habit. But this is just recently, I smell it. And I ask Rick and I ask others, do you smell cigarette smoke? And it's so pronounced in my nostrils. I don't know.
Is
But I
it,
trust you. I trust you.
is it all the time or just
No,
sometimes?
no, it's not all the time. No.
You might be sensitive because of your brain wiring. So cigarette smoke, it smells different on people. Have you ever noticed that? Like I grew up with smokers. My father was a smoker. When I visited my cousin's house, their family was smokers. And when I would smell my cousin's hair, when I would smell her hair or I would smell her pajamas, it was very comforting for me because that's where I come from. I loved my father. He always smelled like a walking cigarette. But then when I got away from it, and I really made my stand, that I'm not going to be a smoker, my body changed. But I remember a little girl from a family that smoked. She sat on my lap. I smelled her hair, and it took me back to my childhood smelling my cousin. So you might have a sensitivity that your brain is like, smoke, 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 and maybe
My
somebody
parents were
does
never
it.
smokers. I was never around smoke. It's been 100 years since I've been around cigarette smoke. But I mean, I can be in the car, I can be in the house. I mean, I'll ask Rick, anybody smell cigarette smoke? And nobody smells cigarette smoke but me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really
Wow.
weird.
The brain is deep and it's deep wired for sure.
And do your lemon oil smell. Like if it's a smell that you need to get rid of, grab a cleansing essential oil like lemon or purification and do each nostril to clear out the brain, the
That's
brain
a good idea,
tapestry, because it's there. It's in the brain somewhere.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, my parents both smoked too. And how we're saying that there's the system where your brain is involved and then the system where it isn't. Well, I think when you're around it all the time, the brain is not involved. So my parents both smoked. And when we were in the car driving anywhere, I always got car sick. And they thought they had this sickly little child. But then when they stopped smoking, I never got car sick again. So it just shows how it affects the body. I mean, we're glad that we don't smoke. We try to be clean people because that is so, so bad for your body. You want to keep your body clean. And it's an excellent idea. Even peppermint, lemon and peppermint are two great ones, Gay. When you get that scent and it's, from your past somewhere, just grab your oil and 3 deep scents. Tell us what happens and we'd love to know.
I will.
So I just want to share one more.
Christmas spirit will help that.
And
It's a big favorite. Yeah, it's a big
Oh,
favorite.
Mary Lee's just promoting those holidays. I know. She's like,
No, but it's got all the right things in it. It's got all the right
Tell me what
combination.
it has in it, because I don't know is cinnamon bark in it?
Yeah, I think cinnamon is in it.
so
And, I don't know, but it works for me.
you can buy that again now because you
I just got one today again. I've got one. I've got
So-
so many of them.
it-
I love them.
it's only available a few months out of the year. So
It's
let me tell you what
15% off this month. That one and the large Breathe Again. So the Breathe Again is what I had to get because that's my go-to oil this time of year.
How much is that? Breathe again.
It was on special. It's the big bottle that's this size and it's 15% off. So it came out to like 30, which I was really happy about because it lasts me a long time.
Wow, that's good.
And you know what? My inhaler costs more money than the Breathe Again.
Wow.
Okay, girls, let me tell you what's in Christmas spirit. Orange, cinnamon bark, and Northern Lights black spruce. Northern Lights black spruce.
I thought about that one. I don't know why I forgot about the tree itself. Good grief.
Yep.
Okay.
Black spruce, that's what's in there. Okay. One more thing I want to share with you all for tonight. Thank you for coming, supporting us when I took no time to invite anyone. My loyal people are here, but I am eventually, I thought maybe this week, get back on the bandwagon, start inviting people to join us, and then you'll have more people to chat with.
I
But
have people that are coming next week. So I did invite people, but they said next Friday.
perfect. So I want to go ahead and share something with you here. So in general, these people on here with us tonight sleep well, but 30 minutes of better rest. Who could use this? We are having a challenge, and these are 4 steps before you go to bed that are part of the challenge. So what the challenge is we're going to do our Ningxia Red. And very interestingly, I'm like, why should Ningxia Red be part of a better sleep challenge? Well, here again, the body is so complicated. On this class that I was on the other night, they were explaining about the adrenal glands. And our adrenal glands, sometimes we get so burned out, we can't sleep. So the adrenal glands are just exhausted. So what can happen with the Ningxia Red is that beautiful nutrition that goes into your body knows what to turn on and what to turn off. So Ningxia Red works with our adrenals, and it can help them reset. So this is called the reset. It's a Ningxia Red restore set, but this is rest and restore. So even if you just get the Ningxia Red kit and join us with that, the Ningxia Red reset, you can do it that way. But if you really want to be serious about better sleep, you can do it with rest and restore kit, which is the same 51 packets of Ningxia Red, super magnesium. I was also reading a bunch of posts from women over 50. Magnesium plays such a beautiful role in sleep on the nervous system. We're talking about resetting our nervous systems. So the super magnesium is part of that kit. And excuse me, Deep Sleep Essence, which is a beautiful brand new blend from Young Living, also comes with that kit. So that's the other option. If you're serious, if you're like, I just don't sleep, I really need help sleeping, I need to go all out, the Rest and Restore kit, because that is what our challenge is called, Rest and Restore. We are a WhatsApp chat group, and we will be posting daily tips for better sleep on that group. So if any of you on here, or any of you listening later want to get in on that challenge, we need to purchase this by the 1st of October, because we're going to start October 21st. If you have any friends who don't sleep, please share this information with them, because we just did our move challenge and it was awesome. We had 23 participants, 13 that posted pretty regularly, and we helped each other. Some of the comments from that challenge on that WhatsApp group were that they just appreciated knowing they were doing this with a group, and they could bounce thoughts off each other, see what different people do for exercise. You also have to move 30 minutes a day, which is what we did in the other challenge for this challenge. There's 7 steps to better night's sleep that we're going to be going through. 7 different steps. So it's a kind of deep challenge. If this is something you know somebody needs help sleeping, please share the information with them. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. Any questions or comments before we conclude here tonight? Feel free. Bring it up now. Anything else you wanted to share, Claudia?
No, that was the big one. The reset bundle, is it cheaper if you get the bundle? Because those bundles sometimes are a savings and they're available on the loyalty, because I purchased the Ningxia reset, I purchased the sleep essence, I purchased the magnesium. And after I made my purchase, I saw the bundle and I went, how stupid am I? Why did I not see this bundle? But you know, sometimes it's good to put the graphic of the different bundles, because when you get things on bundles on loyalty, it's just a nice way to save money. And I don't think everybody knows that, because I didn't and I should have.
Absolutely. And even that bundle is brand new, that you can get the magnesium, the deep sleep essence, and the 51 packets of Ningxia Red. So even
Well, I saw the one with the boost, the balance boost. I saw it. It's in there too.
yeah, it's a different challenge. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
There's
All right.
all these different challenges, and Young Living has prepared so much research for us to share with you all on these challenges. So I'm happy. Anybody who wants to get on that group, just let me know. I'm happy to add you to our WhatsApp group. And then you can share about your better night's sleep. But thank you guys all for coming. I'm going to turn this off now, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.